Welcome back to the NKU Norse. We are headed into our third season as a football program today in 2023, and there is a lot to cover, so we're going to hop right into it. But before we do that, if you haven't fully watched the first two seasons, I'd highly recommend going back and watching those videos before you start this one. There's a lot of great stuff you might have missed, but let's go ahead and go into Redshirt Players. The first big redshirt we're going to be doing is Brett Smith. The freshman from Georgia is going to be sitting out a year, and he's going to be the Bryce Oliver replacement when he graduates. I also ended up redshirting a couple of offensive linemen in Corey Wheeler, Dante Lewis, and Aaron Barber. The next big red shirt comes out of our last recruiting class, Lawrence Frederick. He was a 4-star recruit, and he's going to be sitting behind Ashton Anderson. John Nelson was another big defensive lineman recruit that was a 4-star that we picked up. I'm going to go ahead and redshirt him this season, and that's going to be it for all the redshirted players. Now we get to look at our starting lineup. The freshman, Dustin McCauley, is coming in, and he's going to be our starting QB. Starting out at a 79 overall with 82 throw power and 79 throw accuracy is a big advantage, and he's also a runner. He has 93 speed, 88 excel, and he's a really great Mason Bean replacement to where we don't have to switch up our offense too much. But if he doesn't end up panning out, the backup is Darnell Green. He has 85 throw power, and he came in as a JUCO sophomore last year, and then we redshirted him. So if the opportunity comes, Darnell Green will probably rise to the occasion. Our starting halfback is 6'5", 234 pounds, and the freshman is going to be making a huge impact for us. He's got 88 speed, 93 excel, and although he doesn't have the best running back stats with 64 break tackle and 60 trucking, he's got 85 route running and 81 catching, so he's going to be a menace out of the backfield. And whenever he gets tired, Daniel Kelly's going to come into the game. The 5'8" freshman was redshirted last year, and he's a little guy, but he's set to make a big impact when he gets the opportunity. Our wide receiver one is Bryce Oliver. He transferred in from Kentucky when our football program was first founded a few years ago, and he's been nothing but excellent for us. He has 99 catching, and the 93 overall is primed for an amazing senior season. Our wide receiver two is going into his sophomore year, Tony Hines, the absolute speedster that can beat anyone over top. He has 96 speed, but he only has 65 catching, and he ended up having a drop issue last year, so hopefully this year he can figure that out. Coming in at our slot wide receiver position, we have a new face on the team, and that face is Andy Larson. The freshman was redshirted last year, and with his 95 route running and 98 acceleration, he is the perfect player for the slot role. Lastly, simply for depth, Walter Darwin, coming in at 5'7", is going into his senior year, and he's always on the field making the right plays at the right time. Our starting tight end is Nick Ojanovic. He also transferred in from Kentucky with Bryce Oliver. With Adrian Nelson graduated, Nick Ojanovic is now the biggest body in our receiving core at 6'5", 256, so this could potentially be his breakout season. Then you have the much improved offensive line. It's looking a lot better this season. Hopefully we'll be able to block for Troy Brown up front. Starting at left end, we have a freshman, Cody Hickman. The 78 overall is going to be a beast for us. His 83 strength and 87 finesse moves makes him extremely dominant. And then on the other side of him, you got Ashton Anderson, the sophomore at 6'6", who had a really good freshman season for us last year, and he's set to have an even better season this year. At defensive tackle, we got 83 overall junior Jeff Welsh. He currently holds the school record for the most sacks in a game at 4, and his 85 power move and 86 finesse move is the reason for that. Our linebacker core is where our defense kind of takes a bit of a hit. Freshman 67 overall Anton Cooper's coming in and starting for us. He's a new face on the team, but hopefully his 77 tackling helps him make great plays for the Norse. At middle linebacker, Ryan Clayton, the sophomore, coming in off of an All-American season. The converted free safety was amazing for us at middle linebacker last season, and he's going to continue to dominate this year. At right outside linebacker, we have another sophomore in Austin Hargrove, and he's a little undersized at 5'11", but it didn't stop him from racking up 50 tackles and 13 tackles for loss last season. Next up, our star cornerback, the best player on our defense, Jamari Brown. He also transferred in from Kentucky, and he's been nothing short of excellent for us. With 99 awareness, he is not a corner you want to test. And behind him on the depth chart is Kenneth Webb and Nick Morgan. Both of them are solid corners that are always on the field. Zach Williams is coming in as a freshman, starting as our free safety. The 68 overall has 89 speed, but his 56 awareness could be a huge problem for us. Lastly, our strong safety is Travis Silva. With an All-American season last year, he's primed to have an even better year this season, and his 81 tackling and 81 zone coverage is what makes him so dominant. Then at kicker, we got the former NKU soccer player who is now a junior, Cam Newton, and the other former NKU soccer player, Brody Solos, at punter. That's what our starting lineup's looking like, but now it's time to hop into our schedule, and this is where it gets good. After beating Louisville last year, they wanted to come back and play us at our place. In week 3, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take on an American Conference team. Since if we dominate Conference USA this season, we have a chance at getting invited into the American Conference next season. I figured it'd only be right if we went ahead and started scheduling American Conference teams this year. And that's where our third game of the season comes in when we're playing against Cincinnati, our rivals. Right now, we're 1-1 against each other. It's the biggest rivalry game of our season besides Western Kentucky. And if we can go out and beat them again this year, I think that really proves we can belong belong in the American Conference. After that, we're just going to start conference play. We take on UAB, Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee State, Florida Atlantic, Marshall, FIU, and then we get to the big game. We're playing at number 9, Notre Dame. They saw all of our success last year. They saw that we were able to pull out a win against Ohio State, and they invited us to go play at their place. That'll be a huge game for us, and then the week after that, we're going to be taking on our in-state rivals, Western Kentucky, and then we finish up the season playing Old Dominion at home. Now it's time to hop into recruiting, and our biggest needs are cornerbacks, free safeties, and a punter. So I went ahead, added players that were interested in the school to our board, and I also went out and added players from Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio to our board. Preseason is just scouting. We got to see who's actually good and who's not. We did find a couple busts. I'm just going to go ahead, take those players off our board, but you all will know a lot more about the recruits we're targeting after we get to week 2. So going into the season, we're a 2-star program and we're sitting at number 52 in the nation. In Conference Outlook, we're projected to finish number 1 in Conference USA, so there's a lot of respect for the reigning Conference USA champions. And we also have a couple preseason All-Americans in Jeff Welsh and middle linebacker Ryan Clayton. Strong safety Travis Silva and wide receiver Tony Hines are both preseason second-team All-Americans. And honestly, I was expecting us to dominate Conference USA in first-team preseason All-Conference USA players, but that wasn't really the case. We had 5 first-team All-Conference USA preseason players and 3 second-team. I'd also like to note that Nippert Stadium is sitting at number 64 in toughest places to play. Anyway, now it's time to actually start our season, and we're going to be doing so by taking on number 20 Louisville. Before that, though, we have to cover recruiting. First of all, our biggest need was cornerback, so I went out and added a ton of CBs to the board. Not only are we leading on Joe Pace, but he has 96 speed. I'm really hoping we can land him. We also have 75 overall corner Kyle Cantrell, and he's from Kentucky. Right now we're battling against Western Kentucky to see if we can win him. If that doesn't work out, we could get Caleb Bradford, who's a 68 overall corner. And then this is what interests me, Tom Sims. This guy from Indiana is 6'5", and he's got 90 speed with 90 acceleration. I'm guessing we could play him at corner or safety if we needed to, but let me know down below. I think he could be a beast. Next up, Manuel Lemon. He's a tight end, and he's an absolute stud. 83 speed, 86 catching. I'm really hoping we can land him. We eventually need a tight end to replace Nick Ojanovic, and he could be the perfect one. Now, this was the biggest gem I found. Marcus Tremblay. He's 6'7", 229, and this guy has 95 speed. I know his catching isn't the best at 57, but talk about an athletic freak at wide receiver. We have to recruit a punter, so we're going to go after Tim Kelly. And then after that, I have John King on the board. We're going to see if we can win him. The middle linebacker has some pretty good stats. And lastly, I'm putting my last few points on the fullback from Kentucky. I think that recruiting class, if we can land all those players, could fit a lot of our needs, but it's time for the waiting to end. We are a 75 overall team this year. We're only 11 overalls worse than Louisville, and they're ranked number 20 in the country, so this could be a huge win for the program. It looks like we're starting out with the rain game in Nippert Stadium. This could be a disaster for the freshman QB. Dustin McCauley's in the game. We're going to start off with the read option. Troy Brown isn't going to get the handoff, and Dustin McCauley is going to get to the outside. What a start for the freshman QB. I'm telling you all, he has speed, maybe more than Mason Bean. Okay, Troy Brown, not getting anywhere there, but I do want to have more of a run-heavy offense this season. Clearly, that isn't working out for us so far, but we're going to throw a dot to Bryce Oliver, and Dustin McCauley already has his first completion. The interesting thing about Troy Brown is he's never played halfback before in his career, so I don't know how this will end up going. He's 6'5", though. I'm thinking he could end up being a beast. Here on 3rd and 10, we're going to need a big pickup. I'm not sure if I see anything open. We're going to try to throw Bryce Oliver, and he makes the catch. That is a dot from Dustin McCauley, and he's going to throw another one to the freshman, Andy Larson, and that is a solid first drive for this new team. With a new starting QB and a new starting halfback, you never know how it's going to go, but we have a new era here in NKU football. We have got to stop this kick return, though. The kicker, Cam Newton, makes the tackle. It's time to see what our defense is going to be like this season. On the first play, they're going to get a nice little pickup. It looks like Zach Williams is going to end up being my user, and what a nice play by Louisville. Here on 1st and 10, halfback screen, Ryan Clayton can't get out there, and oh my gosh, Travis Silva makes the tackle, but they're moving the ball on us with absolute ease. Here we go, good box right there. And here on 2nd and 10, they're just going with the handoff, and what a run. Aiden Robbins could end up being a problem for us if we can't stop him, but that's great defense. Their QB's taking off. Anton Cooper brings him down. That just lets me know we're going to need a QB spy, and Louisville's getting into the end zone right there. I gotta say, our defense is not looking too solid right now, but it is a long game. We're going to go with Dustin McCauley here on the run. Unfortunately, we're stuck on a 3rd and 8. I'm going to try throw a dot with Dustin McCauley. They're knocking it down. And the Norse are being forced to punt back to Louisville early in the game. We have a 9-game home winning streak. I'm really hoping Louisville doesn't snap that today. I guess you never know. They're going with the run here. And Jamari Brown with the tackle for loss. All right, 2nd and 12. They're just going with another run, and they are destroying us. We do not have an answer for Aiden Robbins. Here, on 1st down, they're picking up another 8 yards. We need to come out and get an answer. We don't have a stop. Ryan Clayton can't make a tackle there. Jamari Brown just got juked by Aiden Robbins. And just like that, the Norse are down 7. I'm going back to my passing offense. I got to be smart. We're going to throw Troy Brown, and he's going to pick up 6 yards. As much as I like to run the ball, it's not working. Tony Hines is getting pressed over there, though. So we're going to throw it up to him. And oh my gosh, teams just don't learn. You don't press Tony Hines. He's a deep threat. He has a ton of speed. We're going to hand this one off to Troy Brown, and he's going to pick up a 5-yard gain. This is a big 3rd and 7 right here. I'm going to have to throw Andy Larson, and he's getting his 2nd touchdown of the game. The redshirted freshman is off to an extremely hot start, and he really does have a great fit for us in the slot. The question will be, can we stop Aiden Robbins on this drive? He's been running all over us. Here on 2nd and 12, they're going to pick up a nice gain. But we could potentially get a big stop here on 3rd and 5. I sent the blitz, and it did not work at all. Kenneth Webb got absolutely burned, and they just fought off the tackle for a touchdown. Blitzing and pressing was not the play right there. And honestly, our defense is off to a rough start so far. Tony Hines on the kick return, though. Let's see what he can do. The speedster is getting to the outside, and he's going to go all the way. That is what I like to see. That is a huge play for the sophomore, and that puts us right back into this football game. I gotta say, our defense has got to figure it out. Ryan Clayton making the tackle. On 2nd and 6, they're going with the run, and we're locking that up. The freshman, Anton Cooper, got the tackle for loss, and no way they just picked up that 3rd down. That is an absolute killer. I sent in a blitz, and Jamari Brown can't snag the pick. On 3rd and 4, this is where we could get a huge stop. They went with the halfback screen. Anton Cooper makes the tackle, and I'm taking a timeout. It looks like they're going to punt the ball back to us. And now we have a chance to score again before the half. They press Tony Hines. I mean, you're making it too easy. Come on, keep going, buddy. I will take that any day of the week. Let's see what Troy Brown can do on the ground. And now on 2nd and 1, I'm just going to throw the flat to him. He's going to pick up an easy gain. He fought for a lot of additional yards right there. Now we're rolling out, and no, I couldn't get the throw off. I'm going to be smart. I'm just going to take my 3 with Cam Newton, but that really hurts. Now we're only going into the half with a 3-point lead. It's still a lead, so I really can't complain. But I was really hoping to get 7 there. We're locking that QB run up. The freshman Anton Cooper now has 2 tackles for loss on the day. And here on 3rd and 5, we're just looking for a stop. It's a halfback screen. Ryan Clayton makes the tackle, and Louisville is punting us that ball back. So take a look at this. Louisville is pressing Tony Hines. I have him on a pretty interesting route right here. I want to see if he can bird his man deep, and he really can't. We're just going to take off with Dustin McCauley, pick up the easy gain, and I'm still trying to get a feel for this offense, trying to see what works and what doesn't. Running isn't going anywhere, and here, on a tough 3rd and 11, I'm going to throw it to Tony Hines, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. I really want to figure out how to establish the run with this team, but I probably made a mistake in using Troy Brown at halfback. Off of just one run, Daniel Kelly just seems so much more explosive off of the ball. I guess time will tell what will work and what won't. I just made the wrong read there though, which means we have a tough 3rd and 11 to pick up. Good thing Bryce Oliver is an absolute beast. I'm telling you all, nobody runs better routes than him, and Troy Brown can't get into the end zone there. That's pretty concerning considering he is 6'5", 230. He gets in there though, and we're taking a 10-point lead on number 20 Louisville. If I'm being honest, I don't know what to think of our defense. Oh my gosh, we almost had a tackle for loss. But Aiden Robbins is a beast. And now on this big 3rd and 6, I'm hoping we can get the stop. They're throwing Fitzpatrick underneath, and he's getting the nice gain. On 1st and 10, I thought they were going to run. They went with the pass. Ryan Clayton had everything covered, but he just couldn't get to Smith. And Louisville's showing some fight in them, that's for sure. Oh my gosh. No way, Robbins just broke off that run right there. Aiden Robbins has been absolutely killing us. And now our offense needs to come onto the field and do something. I'm just going to make the smart read to Daniel Kelly. Let's see if we can get the run going here with Troy Brown. We couldn't hold up the block, but here on 2nd and 4, I think it's really interesting. They were trying to press Andy Larson. That's a bad read, but he caught the ball. Andy Larson saves the day for us. We're running now with Dustin McCauley. Here on 3rd and 4, it looks like the halfback screen is going to be open. Let's go, Troy Brown. He could not fight for the extra yard. They want me to kick, but no way. It's 4th and inches. As long as I make the right read here, we should be good. I just got to be clutch. Come on, Dustin McCauley, get the first down and pitch it. Why not pitch it to Tony Hines just for fun? I'm hoping that touchdown seals the game. That was a huge 4th down conversion. It feels like we have gotten a little bit lucky in this game, but I honestly can't complain. Jeff Welsh getting the sack. 3rd and 16 coming up here. I just have to watch all that. And how did I not animate on a pick there? They are fighting to stay in this game. That is for sure. That's good defense though. Jamari Brown gets the interception. And that should end the game right there. We just have to run out the clock. We just need to pick up one more first down. I'm going to try to scramble for it. Dustin McCauley does so. And oh my gosh, he's breaking off the touchdown run. This is how you end a game right here. And I'm hoping we can carry this momentum into next week against Tulane. Unfortunately, Louisville has a chance to get into the end zone right here before this game ends, but Ryan Clayton is gonna snag the interception. And will he go all the way? I don't think he will. I think he's gonna get caught. But that is exactly how we like to end our games. And take a look at the Norse celebrating after the big win. Dustin McCauley was clearly the player of the game. He finished with 278 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns on 82% completion percentage, and he also had 10 rushes for 120 yards and a touchdown. Troy Brown and Daniel Kelly both didn't look too effective running on the ground today, but fortunately, Tony Hines is not a player you want to press. He had 131 receiving yards, and Andy Larson, the freshman, came in with 66 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, freshman Anton Cooper finished with 8 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. Ryan Clayton and Jamari Brown both snagged an interception, and Jeff Welsh and Austin Hargrove both got a sack. The last stat to look at is Tony Hines. He had a kick return for a touchdown, and he looked really good returning the kicks. I'm excited to see how this team does this season. That was a great first win, and I'll see you all next week when we take on Tulane at home.